Good morning, welcome to a morning outlook. This is Kim Watson speaking. Now let's have a look at what news events we've got coming up today. We've got that might actually move the market, that is US final GDP. It's not really a big market mover. The problem of the US data is, of course, it's such a large lot of numbers to count, and it can be a bit variable, so we may get a slight variance on this number, but generally on the final GDP it doesn't really make a great deal of difference. Chinese data came in this morning there at below the 50. That's a shrinking market, effectively shrinking manufacturing. It's actually going down. Anything below 50 is seen as shrinking, and that is what it is doing there. Aside of that, we've got speakers today, so let's just have unemployment claims. We did see, and leading into yet another week, we did see a bit more movement around the unemployment claims leading into non-farms. Well, that's next week, so we've got a while for that. And Chicago PMI, not really a massive mover, but we'll see. But the speakers do tend to have a bit more of a kicker. We've got Fed chair testifying. I'm due to testify along the. I'm just checking here. Along with US Janet Yellen. Okay, so it's more specific to the Coronavirus and CARES Act. However, there may be specific things in there that get the markets moving. Okay, aside of that, what else? We've got these guys are speaking at webinar, Fed's pandemic response. Online, economic mobility. So this is more likely to be the sort of movers that get the markets and get traders moving. I think we've already seen Evan speak, but due to speak about economic outlook in an online. There you go. So these sort of things, these speakers more likely to create a bit of volatility there, but they're quite late in the trading session. Right, so the risk is left to the last, but we've seen a lot of risk coming through these markets. Let's go out to a daily here and look at the technicals. So the euro eventually broke its key low here around its monthly S1 area, and currently sitting in support in terms of that nice daily 500. So finding a bit of support around that area, coming down the market time frames, and well, it really did. It's quite a move when it started off yesterday morning. It was typical. It just went and then through the day, just particularly in the afternoon session, we got the real kicker. I mean, it started moving, but they've got the real kicker, and we're seeing this a lot more. A lot of these moves are sort of, if they've sort of start moving, you see the sort of the bigger candles on the 12 o'clock candles at the moment. US sort of sessions having a much bigger effect. In fact, the consolidation in the euro yesterday at one stage, if you took the time frames down, it was horrendous. I mean, we saw this for just wondering whether it was ever going to move, and it was sort of 8 o'clock it fired off, but then again here it doesn't look very much, but 3 hours of not really going anywhere, and then midday off it comes. So what we're looking at today at the moment, we haven't got a daily pivot above. It's a bit early at the moment, and I said this yesterday, and then at 8 o'clock came and it just fired off south again. I'm still bearish on the euro. It's still, when you come back to the daily, it's still quite a bearish look, but come all the way back to the weekly here, and we do have quite some reasonable technical support into the 100, the 200 slightly below, so there is potential to find a bit of a support, a bit of a base here, and it could just base out a little bit. If it breaks the highs here at 16.009, that gives us a higher low. It, as I say, could come back to the daily pivot. Personally, I think if you're waiting for a short, well, I mean, there's a potential jumping on board if it rolls, but a retracement might be a better place to short from. Cable. Well, we saw the big move the day before. On Tuesday there, yesterday, well, continuation down into its monthly S2 pivot there. Often these are sort of as far as the ranges tend to go. The pivot's quite well spread out. Looking technically at in the higher time frames, and well, we could still head south. There's quite a way before we get some other support beyond that pivot level. You've got the 100, the 200 sitting there below, and they might be just a draw for the markets if it starts selling off. So it's just a case of watching for the breakdown. At the moment, again, consolidation around these lows, and often consolidation ends up with another shove. I mean, it's really gone this week, and it did actually go on Tuesday. It shot off from the word go sort of thing from 8 o'clock, and then 12 o'clock just saw it through. Yesterday, it was there's a little movement there, but there's a much bigger movement coming through at 12 in the afternoon. So the bigger moves that certainly look like the afternoon trading is the place to be at the moment, if you can pick it up. Dolly Yen, looking, well, just a continuation at the moment, softening a dollar. Now, I mean, all of this dollar strength, I should say, is if you've been looking at the yields. In fact, let's just bring the yields into play here, and this is a large part of it. The yields have been going up, and they're up at the moment. If we go over the last 3 months, and you just sort of see where we just suddenly picked up late-ish September, then the yields are starting picking up, particularly now when we're seeing these pushing back up. We saw levels of 1.7 in April time when we last saw the dollar really rallying. So but this is a knock-on effect of those yields, really, as the traders bonds are being sold. As I say, with the yen at the moment through its R2 at the moment, and monthly R2, and again looking like it's got potential, a potential continuation. It's consolidating around the highs at the moment, not even dipping, retracing very much. It's just consolidation. It looks like it might head off north again at this rate as the dollar continues to gain strength. Okay, so really looking at the long side. Be careful just leading past 8 o'clock. I've been sitting there quite a bit of time lately, and it's just worth waiting. Be patient. As I say, the afternoon sessions are as good as any at the moment. Certainly seeing bigger volatility. The Aussie Dollar catching a bounce at the moment. Dare I say, it hasn't broken its yearly lows yet, but came off pretty strong yesterday in the end. It had held up better, and I did say that as soon as I say that, it'll roll over. Well, it rolled over in the afternoon. It got back up to its weekly pivot there into the nest of moving averages, and then rolled. So a nice move in the afternoon there. Sitting up at the moment. We're going to get another kicker down as a possibility. I'm just wary of the early morning moves on the Aussie. For us at post 8 o'clock, they can be a bit fickle, but if you're in there early and you've got a reasonable stop on it, maybe we'll get another move to the downside here. So it's just pipping into 8 o'clock as I talk. That doesn't mean to go short it, but I'd pick your fight carefully with the Aussie. I mean, this is here we go. This is what happened a couple of days ago, or was it a couple of days ago? Yesterday even. It wasn't a couple of days at all. But it's just bitty. It just went off. It would have caught traders into one part. Got into the short side, and it's gone back up, and probably frightened the life out of them. And they've sold their position, or closed their positions rather. Sold them if they were long, and off the markets rolled later on. And again, it's sort of later morning, 12 o'clock. And into the afternoon there, when the better moves occur or have been occurring. Canadian dollar, strong up day on Tuesday. Wednesday again, solid day for the Canadian dollar to the upside. I say for the US dollar against the Canadian dollar, but again it all came in on the 12 o'clock candles. There we go, 12 o'clock candle, and same again. And it's just, this is, as I say, this is a pattern that we seem to be seeing. And it's, if we can trade it whilst it's happening, it's probably worth waiting in for it. At the moment, retracement, no surprise there. Not a lot more to be done there. I mean, again, it's got the sort of bull flag in this particular case. A break higher might I mean, we just had a really quite negative continuation bar there, but we have got support below. But a break higher might see yet another shove to the upside. Okay. That's the majors. Let's just go through one cross because I do this cross most mornings. Euro yen. Now I was looking for, if I can get the euro yen there, looking for a bit more continuation at one stage yesterday. Just didn't happen. It had been running up quite nicely. It did run, to be fair, it had run through into its weekly R1 there, and that did prove to be the cap. It come 8 o'clock instead. I mean, we're looking at 7 on the 7 o'clock candle here. Come 8 o'clock, it just rolled over, and that was that. So the euro just really just dropped off yesterday. There we go. Quite early at 8 o'clock. Didn't get quite such a euro yen. Didn't get quite such a kicker later on because both markets were just soft and they're a bit more correlated at that stage. So pick your fights carefully. This wasn't one for the afternoon. Right. Okay. I'm going to leave that there. Let's have a look at gold. Morning, Steve. So gold. I mean, it's giving us these lower highs, lower lows on the dailies here. It looks soft, and I mean, again, look, yesterday 12 o'clock sold off, so it's just patience. If this carries on rallying until 12 o'clock, just be patient. This morning, well, it looks like it's rolling over a bit early. It's through its daily pivot and selling off, looking soft already. Personally, I'd be a bit patient, but it might just go. I mean, yesterday, as I said, it was really it's really moving up quite well until the afternoon. It was a bit later in the afternoon, near 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, and it started going big time at 3. So patience again, maybe on gold. Oil. So yesterday, well, we didn't see. We saw a bit of a shove up at one stage yesterday. Closed up positively, but nothing really significant there. It might stall around here. I just think around these levels. Okay, there's people calling for $100 oil again, which is possible, but just remember there's plenty there to pump, and it's quite easy to start pumping. As long as you can get the shipping, I suppose. But we're just sitting there consolidated at this stage. That, as ever, I mean, it went at 3 o'clock yesterday, but the afternoon session is the time if you're going to be looking for these moves. It's just on the Western Texas. It just seems to move a lot better around that time. So yeah, once again, afternoon is the option there. Okay, that's oil. That's pretty much that. Let's go and have a look at the other markets then. Let's look at the actually, I'm on cryptos. Let's look at the cryptos. Bitcoin started seeing a bit of a bounce yesterday, but pulled back again, and we're seeing a bit of a bounce again at the moment. 30th September, yeah, just getting the right days there. It's still not getting away from things too much. I mean, it doesn't matter what seems to be happening. Yes, it's intraday bounces, but for these two, these markets, and the same for Bitcoin, they need to break these prior highs. So come back to Bitcoin here to actually, then it might have put in a short-term higher low and may have an opportunity. But the more it sits around this area, the longer I remain potentially bearish. Now, of course, I'll be wrong at some stage, but I just think the more it holds around here, if it can't really push up, the dollar's so strong relatively, well, perhaps at some stage you may even see a break. Now, if the dollar starts handing over, well, these coins may be the sort of first to get a half decent bounce, but for now, all of them, I say all of Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, Cardano, all looking soft to me at this stage. Right, okay, that's that. Let's have a look at the indices. Finish off with the indices here, and just look across to China. It's still the CSI 300 index still looking sort of soft. Still a lot of it seems that it's for everyone's slipping their mind on the Evergrande, but most likely a lot of it's been priced into the market that it's going to default. It's just how it's going to default and the knock-on effect. Looking at the Nikkei, yeah, again another down day here. So at the moment it's closing there on a down day, so just another bearish day. FTSE yesterday had a half decent day. We're seeing that this morning already pushing up, and a bit more positive action across the Western markets, I should say. The US market's seen similar, but this just whoops, wrong one. The DAX, that's the one. DAX also looked pulling up, but the FTSE really had the best of afternoons there. And the CAC, there we go. So all three markets pretty much mirroring each other. No great difference. It's a difficult one, I think, where they're sitting. They're easily poised to continue to the downside, but a half decent rally could see all of them running past their highs there. It's a bit like looking at crypto markets. They're all in the same situation. S&Ps, well, it's slower. It's not moved quite as far, but it's still up today and in the futures, following the same sort of pattern. And again, the S&Ps to me gets bullish above the 44.73 area. Whilst it's down here, it's it could easily just, the more it consolidates down here, it could easily just roll down. So remains erring on the bearish side, dare I say it. Nasdaq, same sort of picture, no difference there as with the Dow Jones, all a similar picture. Right, okay, I'm going to leave it there. Wish you a great day, and I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now. Oh, sorry, just an answer, John. I start at 8 o'clock every morning, 10 to 8. The analysis starts, but it's recorded here, and you can stream it live. Either stream it live or re-watch it. You won't be streaming it live after the event, but yeah, it starts at 10 to 8 is normally as close as that as I can. Right, wish you all a great day, and we'll catch you later. Bye for now.